All the content contained in this webcast is for informational purposes only. The investments and strategies contained in this webcast may not be suitable for you. Please consult your own independent financial advisor before making any investment or trading decisions. Good morning, traders and investors around the world, and welcome to Monday's edition of premarketinfo.com, where we prepare you for the most important hour of the day, the first hour. Well, Dennis, S&Ps after extremely weak close on Friday took out Friday's low, but got a little pop, spent a little time over 1300.
Did pop up a little bit, but giving you back some right now as we speak. Facebook is under 38 bucks, trading down at 37.30. And that's got the market spooked a little bit, I hear. I think it's given back 2 or 3 points since Facebook's broke this 38 level in the pre-market.
Okay, we got to talk about Facebook, Dennis, and I guess I got a little egg on my face from my predictions of this. The IPO certainly has went the way that many Wall Street analysts have predicted. Taking a look, the only thing we have is the numbers, Dennis, and we're under 38 bucks.
Under 38 in the pre-market. It'll be interesting to see as we get closer to the open, because we're still over an hour from the open, if they try to drive this thing back to 38 so that it doesn't open up below 38. But I don't think the underwriters can hold it. I think even if they were to do something like that, I think it's going to give way here eventually. So Joel did do some Facebook numbers for you guys. It's on the S&P numbers page if you want, support numbers. Obviously, it's very hard to find support numbers when the stock hasn't traded, but he was using some of the projected IPO ranges and maybe use the whole number theory a little bit in here too. But this stock really could go anywhere. You got to be real careful below 38.
Right, it did hit 38.50 in the pre-market, and now that 38 is fallen, Dennis. I might be a little bit off on these projected ranges, but we did talk about the $34 level. At one point, that was a lower projected range. What I'm going to look for, and believe me, I haven't bought my Facebook yet, even though I said I was going to buy it at 40. I'm looking to perhaps we can get down to this 32 to 34 area, Dennis. 32 was the high of the early projected range, and then 34 was the low of the later projected range. So let's see if the underwriters perhaps got it right before they up the final target. Moving back, though, Dennis, we have other stocks that are moving besides Facebook.
Really? Well, we do have a couple other ones moving here, Joel. Lowe's reported earnings here this morning, LOW, and it is trading down pretty significantly here, 26.80 now. So we got to go out to the weeklies to try to find you guys some support here. It's had a heck, and I mean a heck of a run since the June or since the September lows there at 18 bucks. So it's obviously got a lot of room to give some back. It did stall there though, Joel. What's that number there? If I go back, just to trying to get the date there, February. Do you got the low there?
The low and lows back in February.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the 25.93
That's
level?
what I'm looking at there. Yeah,
Okay,
that 25.93 level, because we're at 26.80 now. We keep giving it back here. I mean, this stock has had a really bad, couple of weeks here, but really in free fall right now in the pre-market after reporting earnings. So I see a little low at 26.57, but yeah, if you go back that 26 bucks too. You had that 25.93 level in January 27th.
Right, Dennis. I guess Home Depot kind of tipped its hand a little bit on this sector, huh? Was that about a week or so ago when the Home Depot came in?
It was, and you'd think the lows would be priced in a little bit more because Home Depot obviously reported earnings there a week earlier, and it wasn't good as well, and the stock gave back, basically 5 points since the highs there, Joel. So, we were trading up there over 53, and now Home Depot, actually in the pre-market, is trading 46.50. So Home Depot's given back another 50 cents here in the pre-market, Joel. There was a low in March, though, looking back here at 46.12. I wonder if that could provide some initial support for Home Depot.
Just going back to the lows real quick, Dennis. We have no sign of a pop here in this stock. We are the current low is trading at in the pre-market is 26.80. It's kind of a straight down pattern, Dennis. So 26.80 would be a good swing number. The Home Depot selling off also in sympathy here. Crashed through some major support here at the $47 level. So if you caught long overnight on this, comes back up to 47, that might be a good area to try and get out at the mark. This thing is starting to get a little bit stubborn here, Dennis. I would say, in the mid 46s, you had a lot of lows back in February. That's currently where we're trading. So I'd keep an eye on the 46.50 level. As far as your pre-market parameters, after we hit 46.50, we're just kind of sitting there and not going anywhere.
Campbell's Soup, that reported here this morning as well. Obviously, a little bit more conservative stock, but it bounced down, got just not a lot of volume here trading, so it's hard to really figure out where it's going to be going. Trade as low as 32.85, which actually coincides closely with those couple 32.94, 32.95 lows that we had there in early April. It's bounced back, trading 33.39, but the spread on this thing is 32.50 to 33.20, one up, so 100 shares, a bit 100 shares in the offer. So they haven't really figured out. They figured out that they don't love it. It's probably going to open down a little bit, but it's probably not going to open down that much. There's pretty decent support. We almost got this triple bottom here, though, Joel, in March. You're probably going to point that area out. 32.60. We had 32. I'm just trying to grab the numbers. 32.61, 32.60, and another low at 32.61. So call that area major support for Campbell's. If it goes through that, you have a little gap area too, Joel.
Yeah, not a lot of volume associated with this move. The best thing I could tell traders or investors that have this is keep an eye on the close and the low. It did settle weak. If somehow somebody likes his numbers, it should be able to get back a hold 33.40. If not, Dennis, it looks like the areas that you pointed out, just under 33, you had a host of lows. 32.97, 32.95 should be a good initial support. Then excellent support at that 32.60 level. That gap, though, Dennis, most gaps are filled, correct?
Sometimes they're filled, Joel, so you ought to keep an eye out on that too, because you do have a little gap if you get below that 32.60 area. Yahoo's in the news here too, Joel, on multiple accounts. Alibaba, they've got some deal to take. Alibaba's going to take a stake in Yahoo, and they announced an increase in their share buyback. So, believe it or not, this stock is approaching its like 4 or 5 month highs there in the 1625 area. And if we go out to the weeklies a little bit farther, this stock actually approaching a 52-week high here too, Joel. 1699 is 52-week high on this one.
Dennis, we hit 16.50 in the pre-market and then had a nice sell-off under $16, and here we are trading smack dab in the middle. But keep an eye on the 16.50 as well as the recent low at 15.98. Dennis, I can just count on my hands and toes the times that this stock has gotten some news and then it was finally going to go somewhere, and then it gets a pop to 16, 17 bucks, and then it goes right back down. So I don't know. Lo and behold, this might be the time that the news actually comes to fruition. Every time this stock has got up near 16.70 to 17 even, it's just gotten beaten back down. So above the $17 level, Dennis, we get a couple closes there, and I will officially be bullish.
So I got to get above 17. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, just leave it there, man. If not, it's going to go right back to 15. I can do the show next week, and it's going to be at 15.38.
Well, you want to talk about stocks that keep going the rain. What about AVP here, Joel? Avon Products. We talked about this stock forever. Obviously, it was in play with Cody there. Cody's going to buy it. Cody's not going to buy it. The whole thing. Well, UBS is coming out this morning and basically downgrading the stock to a sell. So I don't know where UBS was 2 weeks ago when this thing was trading 22 bucks, but it gets down to 16.95. They downgrade to sell. It's trading now this morning here at 16 bucks even. I think this is like, if you think the stock's still in play, you could, make a call. The stock's obviously come down $6 since Cody's pulled the offer here. If you think there's going to be another buyer, if you think Cody's just playing games with that, maybe there's a shot here, Joel. What do you think of AVP?
I think that analyst should be fired.
I don't. Come on. The things, and if we look here, the stock actually is trading right at its low here from October at 16.09. So we're right there right now. We might have some decent support here. This could be a decent setup here, Joel.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna get dirty early. Use a tight stop. If you do get stopped out, maybe give it one more stab. This $16 level is gonna be very important. Uh, I mean, I wouldn't be shorting it at 16, Dennis.
No, I wouldn't be shorting it at 16 either. And when the stock's just, out of play for that short a period of time, they can come back in. I'm not saying Cody's going to come back. I'm not saying there's another suitor out there, but that's always a possibility. And the stock's just giving back 6 points here. I mean, it's lower than it was trading before, Cody was even in the picture. So, not a bad, idea. Just be conservative with it because obviously there's some people that were playing it for the merger and they're dumping into this too. But now that UBS downgraded to sell, I almost feel bullish. I like to play opposite those analysts sometimes. Either way, though, just be careful if you're trading that one because there's going to be some volatility in it. These U.S. financials, we got to touch on them here, Joel, because on your weekly comments, you did a good one on Wells. This $30 level is going to be huge on Wells Fargo. It's trading up slightly right now, 31.09. Some of these U.S. financials are getting a little bit of a bounce this morning, but they've been beaten up so badly. I think it's nothing more than a bounce. I still think these financials are probably going lower. I know in your weekly comments you mentioned this $30 level in Wells Fargo. As being, probably on the radar. I mean, it's come down from 34. There isn't much in there until 30. I kind of think it's going to go down there and fill that area and possibly bounce off the 30 when it gets there, but I think that's where it wants to go, Joel.
Yeah, Wells Fargo is just kind of it's like similar to like your Microsoft and some of your other Big Ten components, heavily traded. I mean, you got to respect this 30.65 area. That was the low on Friday. What I noticed on that stock, I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was on Friday. There was a decent pop in the S&Ps, and that thing was up like a nickel.
Yeah.
And it didn't show good relative strength at all. The 31 handle, Dennis, we talked about that. That's similar to the way the 8 handle was back in Bank America. When it just blows through an area like it did in March, just blew through the 31s in one day and hardly came back and spent any time in it. I think now you're going to see some sellers in the 31s, and it's going to be a little bit rougher going this time. People aren't going to miss the opportunity. But Wells Fargo is getting a little bounce in the pre-market. Keep an eye on the 31.20 level. If it can get back and above hold there, you might be getting a little rally. If not, the mark and also Friday's low will be good support.
JP Morgan, we better talk about it here too, Joel. It still continues to make new lows. I keep seeing people coming out and picking bottoms on this thing. I don't suggest picking bottoms until a stock stops making new lows. And, if you were picking bottoms on this, you could have been buying at 38, at 37, 36, 35, 34. Maybe if you bought at 33, you're happy right now. It's trading 33.70. But, in 2 hours, maybe you're not happy again because the thing keeps making new lows. So that's the cardinal rule. Stocks making new lows. Don't pick bottoms. Wait for it to bottom. Wait for it to hang out for a couple days. Give yourself a nice reference point, and then come in, Joel. And everybody seems to do it wrong. They want to pick bottoms. They think the thing goes down. It's got good value. Okay, if you're Warren Buffett and you're investing in this thing for the next 20 years, okay, pick your bottom, do that, what you want. But if you're a trader and you're picking bottoms, you're asking for a lot of trouble in this issue here, Joel.
Yeah, it's funny how this is when it came back on Friday and got under $33, made a 32.97 low. That helped to fill a gap that it had, Dennis, going back to the beginning of the year. So here's a stock that's almost back to where it was at the beginning of the year. I guess if you are trying to pick a bottom here, you want to try it at this level. Just let it go if it gets under 33, Dennis. I mean, this is it's getting to the point where you've had a 13-point sell-off from the top there over 46. I mean, it could be always good for a bounce, but I'd at least try and see 2 lows in the same area, and then the breakout of a 2 or 3 day high before you get involved with this stock.
That's what it is. Like, you do have a reference point at 32.71, which was from late last year, on December 29th. It made a low at 32.71. So there is a reference point of a 33 low. So at least now you have some type of reference point. But the whole thing, the point just trying to make is, wait till the stock stops going down before you're trying to buy it. So, like Joel said, wait for a couple days where it has like a double bottom or something like that, and then and then maybe try it long. But the momentum's still down in this. We don't know the position size. We don't know if it's getting worse. Like they come out tomorrow and announce, oh, they lost another $2 billion. The stock will fall another $3. So you just got to be really careful when you're trading something like this. Joel, we're gonna run out of time though, so maybe we'll just cut it short. But we should mention Apple. Apple, had a pretty crazy range, but you were saying that it held up not bad on Friday, considering what was going on with Facebook.
Yeah, couple closes in that 530 area. I'd like to see it hold right here, 534 even, and maybe worth a short term buy here with a stop under that 530 level. Just to close, Dennis, Facebook has found a little support here in the market, made a 37.02 low, getting some consolidation here. So 37, 38 could be some levels to keep an eye on Facebook. That's our show for today, and we'll be back with you tomorrow.